Yes, thank you everyone for all the cards and letters that are pouring in. By cards and letters, I mean people that are like looking at the internet posts that we do and saying it's actually 14.7% alcohol instead of 14.5%. But to us, that's cards and letters. It shows that you care. So thanks for thinking of me during this difficult time as I recover from the French wine Paris flu. As you can see, I'm feeling scads better. Kinda. And we're here today with another amazing beverage for you. This wine today, this is a wine for people that put the work in. So we put the work in here, right? Wine retail. It's not just me sitting around drinking lots of really great wines all the time. But on the outside, it looks that way. Like, everybody's Instagram's always happy, when their life is a complete shit show, right? And it could look that way from here, where it's just like, oh, what does he do? Oh, he just like sits around and tastes wine all day and gets drunk. It's amazing. No. We filmed this 6 minutes, and then I'm immediately in front of a computer, and I'm consulting multiple lists from multiple vendors with multiple products to offer. And 90% of the time, 95, 98% of the time, those products are like meh, delete. But you have to check every one, because what happens is once in a while, you get one. You know what I mean? You get one. And then you look at the thing, you're like, I don't know. So you do some clicking, do some more research, because, we have to, my day job also is like I'm on like 10 different wine websites in the same day. I'm checking stats from wine business. And once in a while, like you type everything, whoa, good Lord. And then you bite, and then we get it, and then we sell it to you, and you're very happy. So, Evidence Wines, ever heard of them? I personally had not. This is another one of those super boutique, direct-to-consumer, Napa operations. There's a lot of that in Napa. Napa went all basically direct-to-consumer in the last decade. Part of the reason why we don't sell as much California wine as we used to. And we've talked about that in the past, how we've become a Eurocentric house through necessity, but also value for money, et cetera, et cetera. Long story, but let's just say Napa hasn't been retail friendly for the last couple of decades, I'd say. It's been a while. And so we're seeing opportunities like this pop up for wines we had never seen before, nor had we ever thought about investigating in, because we knew when we called them, they'd be like, yeah, sorry, we're all direct to consumer here with our mailing list. And yeah, someday there might be wine for you, but probably not, right? We made those phone calls 15 years ago. We know how all those conversations turn out. Those phone calls might be a little different now based on the current state of the market. But let's just say we don't have to make those phone calls. We have people making those phone calls for us. And that's these independent brokers that we see that the wineries that usually sell direct to consumer proffer their products to in the hopes that they get a down low, kind of under the radar bite and make the wine go away, because they're not selling as much wine as they used to, because they have no distribution for their product. Very short-sighted, completely unsustainable, but such was the way of Napa for the last 2 decades. I am off my soapbox. This is Evidence Wines. Tiny producer, Jason Court. Jason was an actor before he suddenly there was like the union, there's some strikes in 2002 or something like that, and he was out of a job for a while, and then he ended up hooking up, just working at a winery for fun. And the winery he ended up working at was La Jolla. And it was with Chris Carpenter, who is a hell of a winemaker. So if you want to learn from the right guy, Chris Carpenter falls into the right guy category. So Jason worked with him at La Jolla, at Cardinal, I think became cellar master at La Jolla, and really gained serious chops from one of the top thoughtful, pure winemakers up in the Napa Valley. So Jason started his own label a few years back, I think 2016 or something was his first vintage. And he makes small lots of wine from Coombsville, Mount Veeder, there might be one other, I'm trying to remember. But he's got the connections through all that. His wines are, dark. Have not had this wine actually, so we're in on this together, that's why we open them. This was on a list from a supplier at a really hot price. I was like, evidence. And because I'm like kind of Rain Man-y with looking at 10 different wine critics review things all the time and like doing like this flash memorization stuff, I remember the name popped up in Jeb Dunnick somewhere at some point. And so I went back and looked, and it was like, lo and behold, it's like, wait, are they really offering a hot price on the 99-point Dunnick wine? Like, I was like, what? Like, where's the business? Is that true? And fortunately, the supplier that sent us the information put the wrong score on the wine. So, if you did not do the secondary research, you would not have known this wine actually scored several points higher than what was being reflected on their missive to us. Aha! Aha! So, I emailed them back and said, hey, we'll do the deal. And then they emailed me back like 20 minutes later, like, oh, shucks, I just noticed. And I was like, yeah, you did. Too late, mate. We got the wine, all of it. All being, what, 30 cases of this, what looks to be really special wine. Good Lord, this stuff is inky, baby. Look at this color. 2019, a great vintage. This is from the Bruadair Vineyard up on Mount Veeder, a really great classic site, I think 1,600-foot elevation. 86% Cabernet Sauvignon, 14% Malbec. I think 70% of it was new French wood, if memory serves. And he made a measly, a little over 400 cases of all Clone 337 on the Cabernet Sauvignon. You know, you never know. You never know. That's why we like trying everything. We usually request samples of these wines to sample, and then we kind of sit there and go, oh yeah, that is really that good. And then we'll pull the trigger. We'll be like, most of the time, we'll be like, yeah, I don't know. What was he tasting? This was kind of bought on the fly. This was on the whim. We did not taste this. So, and this is Veeder. It's a great terroir wine, actually. If you want to know what Mount Veeder tastes like, this is it. You can feel the minerals, the cassis, you know, and there's the Malbec here, I think, is helping with that too. There's this cassis, deep mulberry, electric purple fruit character in this wine that isn't necessarily blackberry. We're not talking about blackberry, like currant. And Veeder is so known for this. It's so strong with this underpinning minerality underneath it, but it's not as peppery or stony as Howell Mountain, not as spicy as Spring Mountain. This wine, it's all about how the fruit presents itself in this lightly kind of foresty, cassisi, currant, mulberry type thing. It's just jumping out of the glass. You know, we would sell a lot more California wines if California just loosened up and just started selling wine. This is delightful. This is gorgeous. Textbook, mountain, structured Cabernet Sauvignon. Jason learned his craft very well. This is compelling. Yeah, Jeb got this one. He said 99 points and called it maybe the best Cabernet Sauvignon for around $100 in the market today. I'm not going to argue with him. I've tasted a lot of Napa stuff 2 to 3 times this price that isn't as good as this. What is the mechanism to the point where this wine's actually available to us at this juncture? I don't know. It's craziness up there. I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what they do. I don't know how they think. I don't know the economics of it all. All I know is this wine showed up on the list from this guy, and we said we'll take it all. And the wine is amazing. Awesome. So Jason already sold it at a pretty reasonable $1.25 on his website. This wine at $1.25 for single vineyard Mount Veeder Cabernet, that's already a really good price. So we don't need to run that price back too hard. That's the deal. That's the other thing. When we saw the deal wasn't like this giveaway deal, right? You saw the price and you were like, yeah, that's kind of a, that's a good, yeah, but doing that extra research, going that extra mile for you guys, is what put this deal into motion. So we're running this today at $89.98. So we are $35 off retail of a wine that's 99 points Dunnick that was already the best deal on a 99-point wine in the Napa Valley to begin with. Does that make sense? Makes sense to us. Wow. It's already selling, so by the time the offer goes out, there might be around 20 cases left. I recommend hitting heavy and hard on this wine. You want one of the best Cabernet Sauvignons in the market, under $100 in your cart. This is it. Beautiful wine. Well done. We got to taste some more of these.